Hey
Hello,
everyone,
hello.
welcome to Friday Night Live number 185 with my co-host Bridget of Queen's Crafts by Bridget. If you don't know her, her link is in the description box. And this is her first monthly live with me as a official co-host. So, welcome everybody. It's been crazy around here. So normally I start at 5 and it's 5:24. And before I knew it, it's clearance sale weekend. Actually, it's a whole week of clearance at Dollar General. And Momo went shopping and I helped her unpack and unload and everything. And then before I knew it, it was 4 o'clock and I had not ate all day. So I'm also taking care of my neighbor's cats, and an incident happened where we had to report a strange vehicle in the neighborhood. So, not sure if they're going to come here and update us or what. So, just FYI, we get a loud knock on the door. I have to go answer. That might be what it is. So, let's see. We have Angela Wright, Mimi Loves Crochet, Mimi Tammy, GanniJo, Melanie J, Kim G, Deborah Richardson, Sally Stevens, Kimberly Otterson, Sandy Dandy. I think my chat might have, nope, it didn't jump. I thought it did. Jessica Johnson, welcome everybody.
Hello,
Yeah, it has
hello.
been an eventful day. I didn't even get to do any spinning, and I was supposed to spin 2 hanks today.
I haven't touched my wheel since the last time I spun on one of my lives.
Oh, wow.
It's probably been a good month or so.
Wow. Hi, Marianne. Welcome in. She says, love the mystery bag I got from you. Well, I'm glad you got it, and I'm glad you love it. She won a mystery bag on my 200th Live Chat Tuesday celebration.
Well, that's awesome.
The day isn't over yet. True. More stuff could go wrong. I hope not.
Right? Yeah, let's
So
hope
what are
for
you
a
working on?
quiet afternoon.
Hi, Diana D. Welcome in. What you working on?
Well, what I'm working on, I can't really talk about yet.
Oh,
Um, because I have a thing coming up this fall that I'm doing with a group of ladies, the Decade Divas. So
mhm.
I'm working on my project for the Decade Divas.
Oh, okay.
I am about halfway done, so I'm hoping by the beginning of the week I will be completed with that, and I can crack back into the King's blanket. I'm making him a Gamecock's blanket, a Grafgan. He
Hmm.
wanted a corner to corner that was nice and squishy, like the Stormtrooper corner to corner I did for our commission. So, gotta make him happy.
Yeah. That's very true. Welcome in, MichelleJ and Lisa Gillette. Um, Melanie J says, glad you're here with Crystal, Bridget.
Well, I am too. I was very excited to earn an invitation to come and join Crystal on her lives.
I'm happy to have you. I don't have anybody anymore on Fridays except for Katie on the sit and spin and you and Katie every other month. So, I mean, I have my Fridays open. So, why not?
Right? It's always
Uh,
nice to just take some time to craft with a friend
yeah.
or lots
Diana
of
D.
friends.
Kim says, oh, she sees it. Okay. I was going to tell Diana D. Kim G sent her an email, but she saw it. Oh, at the clearance today when Mama she had called me about 10 this morning or 10:30, and she goes, do you need cat food? Because they have some for 55 cents. And I'm like, yes, get it. Because what I spend on Canella for a whole month worth of food is insane. I'm happy to do it because she eats well and she loves it and all that. But she got it at a good price, better than what I could get on Chewy for.
Right.
So she ended up getting some Fancy Feast little flat packages, and they were 55 cents each, half off. So they were originally like $1.10 or $1.05, something like that.
Right.
And she got 50 of those packages. She found 4 boxes of Delectables, 5 count, at $2 something each. And that's a good deal because she eats the Delectable flat packages, and I spend about almost $28 just in those for 1 month. And that was like $9 that she got today. That is like a third of the price. So I'm excited. And she found some Sheba perfect portions for 55 cents. So Canella is set for a while.
Yes, spoiled baby.
Yes, she is.
That's all right. When they're spoiled with love, it not only enhances their lives, but it enhances ours.
Mm-hmm. And she's the only kitty I got now, so she gets spoiled. Oreo wasn't big. She would eat wet food, but she wouldn't eat a lot of it. It'd go to waste. So, and Canella eats the wet food like crazy. So I'm happy to get it for her. Let's see. Sandy says, I received your snow globe yarns and mystery bag of goodies. I had been looking at that exact Black Friday cake. I also received cake yarns without labels. Do you know the yarn content? Those were, I want to say, acrylic. They were on a huge cone. But Mama took it off the cone to make it fit. I believe. I think she has some more. I can check and see what the actual fiber content was. We froze up. I'm looking at YouTube over here, and I'm not froze.
Let me say I'm not froze on my device.
Yeah. MichelleJ says, my dogs cost a fortune to feed. I wish I could find deals on food. Hey, sometimes they do, MichelleJ, at Dollar General. You might want to check this weekend. Actually, the clearance sale is going on from today till next Thursday. So it's definitely worth one trip up there to see. Because my grandmother said they had dry food, they had wet food, they had treats. I mean, she even got a bag of a bigger bag of the treats. So I'm had to back out and join again. Probably my end.
YouTube has been doing some crazy things. I've gone into some lives where the screen was completely black, but I could hear them talking. But everyone else was acting like it was just fine. So I left out and I came back and it just connected wrong. And I've had it do other weird things too. I think sometimes there's just a connection issue with the internet and all the things.
I think so too. I've noticed because I use Chrome for everything, studio wise and YouTube wise. I watch all my videos on a web page. I don't like the apps really. And when I go and look at comments here recently, it won't show them for some reason. I have to filter it a certain way to show my comments on the webpage. Now it has finally started to show, but members, when I go check my member list, because every month, I have to write my members down, and it will jump. I'll start scrolling down the list, and it'll jump right back up to the top, no matter what I do. So I have to use Studio app to write down my members every month. But I have seen glitches recently that are just insane with YouTube.
Pain in the tuchus.
Yes. Mimi Tammy says Piper or Rescue 60 muscles 60-pound muscle doggo has bad allergies, so we can only feed her $89 for 1.5 months plus vitamins for her hair. Short hair lab pointer solid black. Oh wow.
I just had to change my dog's food because both of them, they've been on the same brand of food their entire lives. You know, I'm not one, I don't like to switch up unless I absolutely have to. But they both all of a sudden started itching themselves like crazy. And now my younger dog, the pup, she's not a pup, but she's the pup to the older one. She's neurotic. You know, she's one of those that once she starts licking, she's not going to stop licking. Once she starts chewing, she's not going to stop chewing. She's just crazy like that. So she literally was licking blood spots on her skin where she was licking herself so bad. And I thought at first, okay, I tried different flea medicine because we have to have flea medicine on them down here. It doesn't get cold enough to, you know, kill off the fleas, and we got sand fleas, so you got to have flea medicine year round. I got her the best flea medicine I could find her. That didn't help. I switched to a different kind of food from the same brand. That didn't help. I went in, and because I've been hearing a lot of people on YouTube talk about how in 2020 they put a bunch of additives into the dog and the cat food that wasn't there before. It's like byproduct stuff. And now a whole bunch of people are reporting that their dogs and their cats are having massive skin allergies and food allergies and like doing things that they've never done before. So I went and I'm like, well, maybe I'll make them food then. So I looked up a couple of recipes, but I'm looking at the price of making the food. And then I went to the store and I found some grain-free food options. And I kind of did the math of it all, how much it would cost me to feed a bag of this dog food versus making dog food at home. And it was still cheaper to buy the dog food. So I'm like, okay, we'll try that first. And if that don't work, then we'll go to the, you know, where I'm making their food. So far, they're both getting their hair back, and Khaleesi has gone into a couple little itching or licking things, but not near as bad as what she's used to, you know, or what she had been in the last year or so. So far, it's working pretty good. I'm happy with it.
Good.
And it's like $1.50 a pound if you know do the math of it all. And they're little bitty dogs, so even if they ate all day long, they're not going to eat a pound of food in a whole day.
Yeah.
You know, so I think one bag's gonna maybe last me a month and a half, possibly 2 months. $38 for 2 months. That's not bad for 2 dogs.
I think when I was prepping to get Canella before October, there was a clearance sale, and they had, I want to think I got Friskies, and it was the seafood sensation. I remember that, but I think it's Friskies, and it was a 16-pound bag or 18-pound bag for like 7 something, and I got the both that they had. And she's still on that food. And I'm like, man, that is worth it. Even at, you know, $20, that bag lasts her 3 months.
Right.
I'm like, wow. Let's see. Welcome in Mandy Longvine, Hook and Good Creations, Tina C, and thought I saw Ellen's Crochet. Welcome in.
Hello, Miss Sassy Pants.
I'm glad you liked your mystery bag, Mandy. I asked what she was working on, and she kind of can't talk about it, Sally.
Y'all will see in either September or October. But you get off my keyboard. They don't want to see your booty. They don't want to see your booty. They don't. I swear to you, they don't want to see your booty. It's cute. It really is. I love it. But the world don't need to see it.
Oh.
This little
Cats,
monster
gotta love them.
He was born on my lap.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me that story.
Yeah. She's a monster.
Wow, MichelleJ. This comment, she says, my old English had lots of allergies and actually has to have prescribed food, and he's over 100 pounds. And on his food alone, cost $280 a month. And I have 3 other, I think she's saying 3 other dogs.
Boy. Ouch.
Wow.
I mean, we love them and they're worth it, but ouch. That's a...
Kim G says, my mom used to give the dogs brewer's yeast when they started licking and have hot spots. Tammy says, my son and family provide Piper's food and care. I benefit Piper by my side all day, nights with kids.
Yeah, they're worth their weight in gold and then some. I love every single one of my fur babies. Hoofed and pawed. I was out with Tiny earlier. He hasn't quite dropped his winter coat yet, so he's still looking real fuzzy. And
Canella's started shedding like crazy here. Every time I pet her, lump of hair, and I'm like, man, you sure are shedding. But it's like low 90s now. So
yeah, we lost our battle with the air conditioner today. I finally had to cave and say, all right, turn it on. Because I was walking around the house sticking to myself. I'm like, nah, it's time to turn the darn thing on.
yeah.
I just hate them high bills, you know? I hate paying a couple $100 light bill. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It truly is. You can spin cat hair now.
There you go. I got some puppy hair I need to spin for Mel. I got some ruby fur to spin up for her.
Well, Canella's hair's, so short it's like spinning cotton, which I have not done yet. I have cotton, and it's, the kind that's about that tall. And I'm just like, do I even want to try to attempt that? I don't think so.
I've got some. Actually, it's sitting right next to me here. I got some Egyptian cotton I plan on trying. But I want to either set Theta up differently because, she's got several different settings on her. Or get my great wheel going and try that out. Or even yet, get one of those that where'd her name go? Katie just got.
Oh, the
Charka or whatever. Yeah. I want one so bad.
Yeah, when I had I talked to the people at Mohair and More a couple of months ago. Well, it might have been August or September. last time I had asked them about, spinning cotton, and they actually just gave me some cotton to try.
Oh, awesome.
And I was like, she goes, yeah, but it is very hard to spin. And I go, yeah, that's what I've heard. And I did not take it out and look at it until I got home and I was talking to Katie. And I'm like, oh my good Lord. And I'm like, I just pulled off a little piece and I'm like, look at this, Mama. Look, look at the staple length. Teeny tiny. I mean, you can't even draft. You would just have to let it spin and make.
Yeah, I think you almost have to long draw with cotton, which is going to be my downfall because me and long draw, like, I can do it. We are not friends.
And I think that's what I'm more used to now because of the mill prep fiber that I spin. It works really good with the long draw, but the way I have to do it, I can't just pull back with one hand. I've got to hold the twist there. Otherwise, it will pull my whole string of yarn off my bobbin and go with me. It doesn't work, like a traditional wheel does on tension. So I had to rig it so it would put tension on the maidens. But it works that way. And I mean, I can fold and then draft like this, of course. I guess I just got so used to pulling back. That's what almost comes natural to me. And Mimi Tammy says, if y'all do not hush about spinning, I'm scared I'm going to want to spin.
Well, as my friend Ray from Ray's Yarn Addiction would say, spin with us, spin with us, spin with us.
Oh, that's pretty cool, Sally. Sally says, when I get back home, I want hubby to make me a charcoal wheel. There are patterns. Awesome.
Yeah, if you got someone that's talented with woodworking, that would be completely awesome. I was hoping that the hubby would have more time and get his lathe going and build me awesome things, but with him working full-time and going to school full-time, he really doesn't have time to go out in the shop and do a whole lot. I still haven't even I've told him, I don't know how many times now, I need him to make my broom handle so that I can finish my broom. I'm going to have to learn how to use the lathe.
Diana D, I'm having an okay day, I guess. It's been pretty hectic, but it's good. Welcome in, Margie, Air Lover.
I would say probably a nice toothy wool, Melanie, because the wool will grab onto the other fibers and lock it into place when it holds onto itself.
Yeah, if my grandfather was still alive, I know he would have helped me build the pieces that I would have needed to get my spinning wheel up and going, because he could do woodwork. I mean, he was amazing. There's an entertainment center I have sitting here that was my grandfather's, and he built that.
Awesome.
And I mean, it's probably, I think we have 10-foot ceilings. It must be at least 7-8 feet tall, and maybe 2 feet wide. I'm not very good at estimating, so it's something around that line. And it's thick oak. I mean, my grandmother has a, what do you call it? I have a cedar chest, and she has like a big, huge chest to put blankets in. It has the rounded top, and you lift it up, and it's deep down inside. You could put blankets, or she has one of those that he made, and I have one that is, I don't know, probably about that big, maybe about that tall, and that was the last thing he made before he had to stop doing woodwork. Because he also had COPD, so the sawdust kind of would get to them, but
yeah.
Yeah.
That is so awesome, Kim. You ladies are very lucky to have handy hubbies around to make you wonderful things.
That is awesome, Kim. And even Sally said something earlier, or who was it? He has made me a lot of my spinning tools. So Sally's husband also made her a lot.
Yeah, I was hoping to get the king to make me a hackle and some wool combs, but he just hasn't had time yet. I was wondering, like for Maryland, I can buy another mother of all and flyer and stuff like that for Maryland and change that out. I wonder if you could go and just get a new mother of all and flyer and that, so you could get some bigger bobbins and
Yeah, I have thought about
that. Then maybe you could rig up something a little bit easier. Like I could show you how all of mine are set up, and then maybe you could do something on those lines, to get the tension a little bit better for you.
I would appreciate that. Yeah.
Because I know, if you see something that would, you would see that would work on yours, you'd be able to, do it. So if you can rig up what you got rigged up so far,
Yeah.
You can definitely go a little bit further,
Hi, GrannyDee. Welcome in. I got the box. I'll open it tomorrow during the live. I will try to remember to be there. And I did spin up your yarn last night. So you'll be getting your yarn pretty soon that goes with that box. Hi, Denise Lee.
The tools for spinning are ridiculously expensive, especially for what they are. I mean, a hackle is essentially some nails pounded through a piece of wood that are clamped down to another thing. I mean, and a wool comb. That's what it is. It's like a paintbrush that you pounded some nails through, going a crazy direction, and then you clamp them down to something. Ta-da! But for this, they want, a couple $100.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that, the handcrafted wool stuff, wool combs and stuff like that aren't worth money because they're handcrafted, but these factory produced ones, for the price that they are, it's just ridiculous. It's really not that much material. And if it's factory produced, they got machines doing it,
True. You're very welcome, GrannyDee. I just had to wait for all the fiber to get here before I could. Otherwise, I would have sent it with the box, but I didn't want to have to wait. Kim G says, I got 2 spinning wheels at his shop waiting for parts.
I came up with a little idea of how I might change or, add some stuff to my great wheel so I'll be able to spin on it. It won't be historically accurate modifications, but I think if I mod it the way I'm thinking of, I'll be able to spin with it.
Well, I hope so. That'd be cool.
I want to spin so bad with that thing. Right now, though, the wheel, it kind of sits like this. So when it's going around, the band just goes whoop, and pops off. So I'm thinking if I take, because of the band is like this wide, or not the band, but the wheel is like this wide. So I think if I put something like on both sides and create a channel for the band so it can't pop out of, then I'd be able to spin with it. Sally, come look on Facebook Marketplace down by me. They have them all over the place. Matter of fact, last week there was one on Facebook Marketplace. Beautiful wheel, beautiful example, you know. Had a few missing things, so you could not spin with it. But overall, the condition of everything that was sitting there was very, very nice. But they wanted like $250. I'm like, $250 to put a very large thing in the middle of your room that you can't use? It's a little ridiculous. So, like, I wasn't like mean or anything like that, but I messaged them and I said, I don't know if you're aware, but as this wheel currently sits, it is not in a usable condition, nor does it have all its parts. So if someone's going to get this wheel and wants to use it for more than just a decoration piece, they're going to have to put a great deal of money into it. So your price is really not fair. I hope that you have a lovely day.
Awesome. I mean, that is, you know, it's kind of like you're overpricing this beauty. Can you know,
right?
just so you know.
So, you know, they lowered their price and they said thank you.
Well, that's good. I'm glad they didn't get offended because that's awesome.
Right? And I'm like, I know this is such a like, I felt like such a jerk, but at the same time, like, it's a beautiful piece. But if I could tell by what they were writing that they didn't honestly understand that just because they found them on eBay that were complete for up to $1,000, doesn't mean you can sell the one you have for that kind of money.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I was hoping they were going to take it in the way that I was intending it, but I knew they could possibly take it in a way that, like, I was being a big jerk.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Roseann. Welcome in. Sally Stevens has a great wheel on her wish list.
Yeah, they're absolutely beautiful.
She also says hot glue the edges.
There you go. That'd be an idea. I live around Columbia or Aiken, South Carolina. So in this area, you can get all kinds of antique fiber goods because there's such a rich spinning and weaving history in this area. There are quite a few cotton. There used to be quite a few cotton mills. We still have quite a few farmers that plant and pick cotton. I've actually thought about in the fall going up when they've picked, because a bunch of it will get just laid down on the ground. It doesn't get picked up by the machines. So I thought about asking one of the farmers if I could go out and just off the ground pick up some of it to try, just see what it's like one time to have from the cotton bush to a yarn, you know?
Yeah.
Just see if I can. Oh. Boy,
So what's
Nightbot's got a
everybody
lot.
working on? Oh, what?
Sorry about that. Nightbot's got a lot to say tonight.
Yeah, he has I think about, I know it's less than 25 different links to drop, so
all that AI stuff intimidates me. I'm like,
well,
no, thank you.
It's technically you know, you just program the links and how many minutes you want it dropped, or every 5 minutes, every 20 minutes, every whatever, you know, you just program it. It's just kind of automatic. Aw, GrannyDee, thank you so much. She's been a member for 22 months. She goes, big squishy bear hugs. Aw, thank you so much, GrannyDee.
22 months. That's a long haul.
I think my mom and a couple other people that first joined my channel when I got monetized, like 36 months, I think, or 35 months, something around there. There's like 2 or 3 that been around that long, and I'm like, wow.
That's amazing.
So
yeah, we have some awesome supporters here on YouTube.
yeah, we do.
I mean, there's icky sides of it. I ain't gonna say it's all sunshine and rainbows, but there are definitely some really awesome people, and they're the ones that I keep coming back for.
Yep, that is very, very true. Hi, Terry. Welcome in. Welcome in Aisha's Handmade Items. And Kim G has been a member for 28 months. And she goes, meow. Let me see. There you go, Kim. Hi, Dee. Welcome in. Aw, thank you so much, Dee. Okay, let's see. So that was Dina Cabaz. Congratulations. And Christy. Awesome. Congrats, Christy. Sue R. Mama Susu, I think. Lisa Gadberry. And Carly Cheesebrew.
Oh yeah, Dee, I'm sending love and light for your pup, honey. I hope that she heals up real fast.
Oh, thank you, Mimi Tammy.
What was that?
Bigfoot.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew or not. Oh, hold on. Let me write Mimi Tammy down real quick.
I knew about the goats and the chickens. I missed Bigfoot.
Okay, so I actually have 3 new sound effects from Chuck. The Bigfoot one, the cat one, and this one I think people might get offended from it because it's disappointed sigh. But this one has a male sigh, female sigh, shocked sigh, an end of the world sigh, which I do kind of like this one. Thank you, Denise. And the Bigfoot one, I think I did the groan. Yeah, Denise Lee. Thank you, Denise. For the Bigfoot one, there's the howl. To me, that sounds like a bullhorn or something. The snort, the roar, and then the groan that I played a minute ago. And then the cat one, I played the mew, and this is meow. Cat fight. And then the purr.
That.
That one goes on forever. Just like the baby chicken Pete does. Hi, Jen Tobby Nook. Welcome in. Oh, wow. See, Dee's having a glitch with YouTube right now. She goes, hi, everyone. You're welcome. My phone is acting up. The chat is disappearing on me. You love the purr, Kim. Aw.
Goodness. Well, I talked the king into letting me make another flower bed in the yard.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm gonna probably start on that this week. I'm gonna make the triple moon goddess flower bed. So I'm gonna have crescent moon going outwards, the full moon, and then a crescent moon going the other direction. I'm gonna fill it full of strawberries.
Oh, cool. That is one thing we didn't plant this year. I tried growing strawberries last year. Most of them never came up.
Yeah, strawberries are finicky.
Yeah, and then the one that I actually bought that had a strawberry on it died. And I'm like, thank you so much, GanniJo. I'm glad you enjoy spending Friday evenings here with us and the crochet community. I'm glad you got your mystery bag and you loved everything. You're very welcome, Denise. Yeah, we got cucumbers going, tomatoes, potatoes, carrots, okra, zucchini, and I think that's it. But there's only little quantities of each, you know.
That sounds wonderful, though. Right now, all I've pretty much got going is herbs. I've got one tomato plant going. We still don't have the area cleared where I want to put my garden. And everything that is big enough now to put a garden in the backyard, it gets too wet when it rains. It gets like a lake back there, so everything ends up drowning out. I could put it in the front yard, but we have sticky fingers with the people that live around us. Advertising that we have a garden full of vegetables by sticking it in the front yard is probably not going to help that situation.
Yeah.
So I've been just kind of, oh, I really want one of these. So I dig a little spot and I put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I'm the one that mows the lawn. So I know what plants are okay to mow over and what plants you need to avoid.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad, GanniJo. I will definitely be watching out for the video. You know what? Let me go grab one of the zucchinis we pulled off yesterday or the day before. It is so funny.
I'm just waiting for the tomatoes to pop out so I can have me some green fried tomatoes.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that thing.
wow, that's huge already.
Yeah. I mean, but it's, you know, funny shape.
Oh, I do have
And it
some.
was growing like this on the vine, and then this part was on the ground. And we're like, you need to pick that. I think this is the biggest one. It's skinny, and all the other ones we've been picking are just short and fat. But this one kind of got long and skinny. So, but yeah, our tomatoes are starting to bloom out too with little baby.
Yeah, I do have some squash plants going. They're volunteer squash plants left over from they replanted from squash that was planted last year that the pig planted.
Uh-huh.
So I have that growing, which is awesome because the pig absolutely loves squash. So do I.
Mm-hmm.
But it's free food. I literally went to one of the little fruit stands and they will give me their fruit that's gone bad or their vegetables that have gone bad and I give it to the pig. Well, the pig does what the pig does and then I moved his pen and some plants started growing. So from free food, we got more free food, which then planted more free food.
Exactly.
I love that math.
Sandy says it needs googly eyes.
Right? Oh no,
Um,
GanniJo, I'm ready for fried green tomatoes or a fried green tomato bacon lettuce sandwich.
oh yeah.
Yes, please.
I a couple of times over the last couple of years we've grown zucchini. Like say we cut them up or whatever. Momo can't eat the seeds because of it bothers her gut. So we will save the seeds out of all of what we plant. Either the tomato seeds, we cut around them, put them on a plate, and then let them kind of dry up, and then go plant them. Same with zucchini or squash or um, cucumber. Same thing. We let them dry a little bit and replant them.
Yep, that's the way to do it.
And actually, those tomatoes we have growing came from some tomato seeds we squeezed out of tomatoes before we gave the actual tomato to the chickens. So those were also heirloom, saved.
Well, that's the way to do it. That's how my grandpa did it all the time. Let's say I don't see any need to go and buy more seeds every single year when we've got perfectly good seeds coming out of the plants that we're eating. You know.
GanniJo says, Bridget, hush now.
I don't know. I just ate dinner. I don't need to be thinking about food. This perimenopause is doing that enough. All I do is think about food anymore.
And I have no idea what kind of tomatoes they were. We actually got them free from somebody and they ended up going bad. And so we just got all the seeds out of them and gave them to the chickens before they. Barry just sent me a photo. Okay. Barry, are you lurking in the chat?
Is that Storms, Radios, and Cats?
Yep.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Okay. I guess I missed him. But yeah, we ended up giving the tomatoes to the chickens because they were starting to turn, and our chickens will eat them anyway. And they didn't taste very good. We tried one and it was like, no. So we gave them to the chickens. And I haven't had a garden in years. I used to plant a huge garden every year. Oh. Yeah, we used to have, I don't know if you were around my channel a couple of years ago or not, but our back pasture we got tilled up, and we had, I don't know, 5 or 6 giant long rows, the length of our pasture almost. It was so hard to get water out there. We said, nope, we're not doing this again.
I've already told him he's got to pipe water around the farm so that I can water stuff.
Yeah.
Luckily down here, because it doesn't freeze, we can actually get like the hand pumps and just put down another, put down the stick and just hand pump the water out of the ground. So you don't have to actually dig a full well or anything like that.
Oh, okay. I guess I have missed your comments both times. I'm sorry. But I did see the message come through that you sent me a photo. Oh, you remember that, GanniJo? Yeah. We ran some hoses, some soaker hoses, all the way back to there, and we had to like connect. I think we bought like 10 of those to wind down each row. And by the time it got to the, third to last hose, water would barely even come out. So we'd still have to go and haul water cans out there. But every time it would rain, everything would flood. And so we just finally decided, nope. So now we're doing the little fenced in area in the backyard. I mean, it's a lot less produce that we get, but the 2 times we did have stuff in the pasture, yeah, no. No.
Yeah, it gets to be a lot.
Mm-hmm. And since my mom and my brother are not here anymore, they actually moved down the road about 5 minutes away. So we don't have, we don't need that big of a space anymore anyway, so.
Right. Yeah, it's just the 2 of us. So I tell everybody, if you want to have something planted and you don't want to have a garden, but you want to have fresh vegetables, I said, buy the seeds. We'll put them in mine. Come out and help for a weekend. You can have as much as you want of everything, not just the thing that you bought. I will all share like a community garden thing. And everyone looks at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, but that's how my people do things.
Uh-huh.
Because if we all work together, then we don't all, and then none of us have to do all the work,
Well, Deborah, I think because the tomatoes were cold at first and then they sat out for too long, so I think they got bad and that's why they tasted funny. But the seeds will still produce a good tomato, So I just think it was something in the transportation process. They got too hot or, started to go. But we never went, even if they weren't bad, our chickens ate them. They went crazy over them. So if the ones we're growing now don't taste good, then we'll just give them to the chickens. Yeah, it did kind of sound funny a little bit, but yeah.
I have a bunch of my herbs I'm going to have to replant because I guess the seeds were too old. They didn't take.
Aww.
It's all right. We'll try again.
That happened with the peppers I planted this year. I think the bell peppers, I planted 2 different kinds, and I think those bell peppers were too old. They never came up. And I'm like, oh, man. Because I don't need any more hot peppers. I have tons of hot pepper seeds, but I still have tons in the fridge from not last year, but the year before and the year before that, I grew peppers. So I don't need any more of those for a while. Well, depending on where you are, Sandy, like here in Texas, our garden does better with shade than being in direct sun. Sometimes it will scorch the plants being in the direct sun. Yeah, you could do container gardening. I think that would work too. As long as it's smaller containers that you can move them in and out of the sun, and put them in the shade if it gets too hot or something
Just
like
if you're
that.
going to container garden tomatoes, buy specific container tomatoes, or give the tomato a way bigger container than what you think it'll actually need, because if you stunt their root growth, they won't produce much fruit for you.
Mm-hmm. North Indiana. See, and I just sent you out a package, and I didn't even remember where I sent it. Oh, you have a groundhog. Mimi Tammy says, I love a tomato acidity. There are grown in East Texas clay sod mixtures, so yummy. You don't like biting into cherry tomatoes, GanniJo?
Oh, I love them. I can go out there and eat that like it's cake. Tell you what, when I got a garden, the only reason I need to cook at all is to feed the king.
Yeah.
Because I'll go out in the yard and be stuffed by the time it's time to eat. I was out there yesterday and found some blackberries growing.
Aw.
They're so good.
Yep. I went through a whole, I think, a week and a half, maybe possibly 2 weeks of picking blackberries every day. And once I made my jelly or jam, I was like, I'm not picking anymore. Not this year. I wanted to make sure I got majority of everything out there, and then once it rained and everything kind of got, done for, the last time I ended up picking before I made my jam, most of the berries were starting to go. Like it was almost like end of season for them.
Yeah.
And so I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm done for the year. I just got into a spider web. How did that happen?
And I'm hoping to get some nice bushes growing out here. Right now, all we have is like the wild ground running berries.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, it's a form of a wild grape. They're called muscadines.
Mm-hmm.
They grow on my property as well. Unfortunately, most of the fruit, though, is in the top of the trees.
Oh.
So you can't get to it.
Aw.
But when they are low enough, I really enjoy them. They're good.
Mm-hmm. We have some kind of grape out there, and I've tried several different things, but like last year I watered them excessively, and it's just one trunk, and then it comes out and feels the length of the backyard fence, and then it will make tons of grapes. Every year I have tried to give it more and more water, and then there's stuff you have to add to the ground when it's starting to make the leaves and produce, like some kind of ash and some kind of nutrients to make the grapes less acidic, because as soon as you bite into it, it's almost burning your tongue. And so there's some kind of something you have to put in the soil so it don't do that. And also watering it more, because if you don't water it enough, the as acid content don't diminish or something like that, from what I've understood. So last year I had tried to water it a lot more, give it more water every day when I was watering, and it seemed to help some, because it didn't burn my tongue like the last few years. So that does help, but we've never been able to use it. I don't think it's one of those that you eat, or anything. I think it's one you make wine out of or something.
Maybe.
So,
And my grandfather had a grapevine that climbed up what used to be a wagon, like going across the United States type of wagon.
Yeah.
So this thing was covered, and we'd walk inside. So when you'd walk inside the grapes, you'd literally be in like a tent of grapes. So they'd be all the way around you, up above you. Oh, they were so good.
Awesome.
I miss that.
Wow. Mimi Tammy says my grandmother had so many grapes she actually stopped making her own wine at age 94.
Wow.
Diana D says they have a big garden every year. Sandy says my daughter showed me a trick to cut cherry tomatoes in half. You take the two round or square plastic lids, place one bottom up, put the tomatoes in the place of the other right. I think she means right side up. Take a
Yeah,
knife.
it makes like a sandwich, and you probably cut through them.
Oh wow. Mimi Tammy, that's awesome. She says grandmother lived 4 days shy of her 104th birthday.
That's an amazingly long life.
Wow. Yeah, it's possible, Barry. I I don't know if my grandmother knows what kind it was or not. Hi, Diane Major. Welcome in. Oh, I'm glad you got it. You're very welcome.
Somebody's at the door crying.
Is it the cat or one of the dogs?
I think it's one of the dogs. Because it's just a hmm. They're so spoiled. Their dad's out there. They got plenty of attention.
Yeah, then they must be muscadine because they first come out like green and then gotta go to a red, and then when they're supposed to be ready, they're like a dark, deep purple. So
Yeah, some muscadine. Where they have like a green ball inside and it's kind of jelly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a muscadine.
Okay. Well, and they have seeds, like really hard seeds in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there's quite a few different varieties of muscadine.
but I have noticed over the years after doing, either giving it more water, it's less acidity. But my grandmother don't want it there anymore and it keeps coming back. We have cut that big trunk. It's grown through our fence like this. And we have cut it. We have done everything and it will still come back every year.
Yeah, once they're in there, they're very stubborn.
But Sandy says, my cat Miso once in the front door, then walks straight through and once out the back.
When my girls start trying to that kind of stuff, I put them right out the back door and I tell them, well, you can come back in when I feel like letting you back in because Mama ain't playing these games. And I got all the wild kitties. They're For everybody else, they're feral. Around me, they're completely tame.
I've had a couple like that.
We've got 4 gray boys right now and an orange boy. Well, all 4 of the gray boys look almost exactly alike, except for one's more fluffy than the rest of them. Well, they come up and they sit on my back porch, and you'll see, I have a rolling garbage bin back there that I put like cardboard in because I burn it, and then I add it to the ash, to the compost and whatnot, into the ground. Well, I have like 2 or 3 of them sitting on the trash can, and one of them will be up on the rail, and they stick their face like right in the window, and they'll start crying in the window. So I have to come out and feed them or get love on them or bring them treats or bring them a new toy. They're more demanding than the inside cat. But we've had a lot more out there, and we don't have any females anymore. So hopefully that means that I won't have any more kittens for a while. Because every time there's a female out there, she ends up bringing me the kittens. And I mean, the king loves cats, and I mean, I like cats. I prefer other people's cats. Like, I like to pet them and then go the hell home. Because there ain't no litter boxes in that situation.
Yeah. Bye, Diana.
Yeah, cats are great. I'm just not a fan of litter boxes.
Yeah, I remember you saying that before. Yuck. What you need is one of those automatic ones where it cleans it.
I had one. Absolutely loved it. But I paid like $250 for it. And a year later, it broke. And the price went up to like $500 and some for the same exact one. And all the other ones I looked at, well, I tried one other one. It was like $150. It was broken within a day. I'm like, okay. So I sent that one back. At least I could get my money back. But all the ones that are like recommended and have good reviews are between $600 and $1,000. Oh. Again, I really love my cat, but I don't know if I love cats enough where I want to spend that kind of money. I mean, that's a whole new spinning wheel. That's a lot of fiber.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Sandy says highway litter box robbery.
It really is. I mean, they're worth it, I guess. You know, it is nice that you don't have to scoop. All you have to do is, you put the bag in, the bag fills up, you pick the bag up, you tie it up, throw it away, you put a new bag in. That's all you have to do. And once in a while, of course, put new litter in, So that is wonderful. That part is just absolutely wonderful. And I guess that in itself, it's worth its weight in gold. But, when you live on $1,000 a month, thinking about spending $1,000 for something for an animal to go poo-poo in just doesn't seem like a very wise way to spend your money. That's a whole month's income.
Like payments, like a car note, you can.
Right.
Pay it off in payments. Rent to own your cat litter box.
I need a $25 a month payment plan, please. I'm paid off in 10 years.
Dee says she can't see the chat for some reason, but she's listening and working. Have you tried going out and coming back in to see if that worked, Dee?
Nah, YouTube's up to its tricks.
Yeah, earlier when she first came in, she said she couldn't see the chat. She's Melanie J says you need to patent that, Bridget.
All I have to do is follow my ideas. Now, you don't actually execute them the way I think about them, but follow my ideas. I mean, it's so swollen, I had to take my ring off, and it done caused a sore on my finger.
Uh-oh.
Yay!
Oh, good. Yay, I'm glad that fixed it. Next time that happens, now you know, go out and come back in.
That's pretty much my solution to every glitch is if something's not looking or sounding right, I go out and come back in. Because that's another glitch I've seen where you'll go into a video and you can see the person's mouth moving, but you can't hear anything. You have your volume turned up, you've checked everything, but then if you go out and you come back in, the sound works just fine.
I've experienced that too. Deborah wants to know, what did you do, Bridget?
I don't remember. I know that sounds awful, but I don't remember. I'm not sure what idea we were going to patent. I don't remember. I have severe short-term memory issues. So every once in a while, my brain will just reset, and I have no idea what the hell we just been talking about. Sometimes it does it while I'm mid-sentence.
Oh, she means to your hand.
Oh, because I have congestive heart failure, so I can literally gain 10, sometimes 20 pounds in a day in water weight, and my finger got so swelled up around my ring that my ring actually cut into my finger.
I didn't know. I knew you had the heart problem.
Yeah.
Don't you have the pacemaker?
I have a pacemaker defibrillator. I should be going in probably in the next year or so and getting another one.
It did not even register that you had congestive heart failure. My grandfather had congestive heart failure with the pacemaker, but people could also have a pacemaker that have a weak heart or something. I didn't even know that, honestly. Wow.
Yeah, I've had 2 massive heart attacks. The first time I was actually dead for 3.5 minutes.
Wow.
I was 24 years old, and I don't eat salt at all, ever. I don't like salt. I don't eat processed food because it has too much salt. I don't eat ketchup because it has too much salt. I don't like the taste of salt. I never have. But I had really bad pain in my shoulder blades. It'd be like between my shoulder blades. It felt like someone was sticking, because we're on YouTube right now, a very sharp, long implement into my back and twisting it. Like they were trying to lift my shoulder blade off my back. That's what it felt like. Well, that day, my eldest son was having oral surgery. He had some teeth that his adult teeth came in like behind the baby teeth instead of underneath. So the baby teeth were still in his mouth and the adult teeth were in there as well. So they had to take the baby teeth out and move the adult teeth. And well, he got out of that surgery, and I had a 1-year-old baby at the time and a brand new baby. She was 9 weeks old.
Oh, wow.
And we were like 6 hours from home. And I went up and seen my son after surgery. I looked at him and I hit the floor. Like I just collapsed. Wow. And so, of course, they thought it was from the shock of seeing my son like all sore and gooey and everything. And it wasn't that. I was just like in a lot of pain. And I'm pretty sure I actually had a heart attack right then. Well, they took me downstairs to an emergency room area, and they're running all these tests on me. Of course, they're not running heart tests because, again, I'm a 24-year-old woman.
Yeah.
You know, and they couldn't figure nothing out. My son is autistic, ADHD, oppositionally defiant, nonverbal. You know, he's scared, just come out of surgery. I'm like, y'all have got like 30 seconds to figure out what's going on with me, or I'm going out of here and I'm going to see on my son. They couldn't figure it out. So I signed myself out against doctor's orders, went and see my son, drove home 6 hours. I got home and I'm going to go take a bath. You know, my back hurts because, you know, us ladies, we have a sore back. Sometimes we just got to go take a nice hot bath. You know, they're going to give us some muscle relaxers. They're going to give us a painkiller. In a couple of weeks, we'll be just fine. It's no big deal, you know. So I took a hot bath, went to bed, and it still was hurting so bad. Well, my ex picked my behind up and forced me into the car. We got to the emergency room and they did x-rays and they, you know, again, they were thinking my back, you know, that I threw a disc out, I pinched a nerve, something like that. Well, the doctor took some x-rays. He came in, he said, all right, we got the x-rays back. I'm going to go check on those real quick. I'll be right back and let you know. We'll probably give you some muscle relaxers, painkillers, and we'll send you on home. I said, all right. He turned around to walk out of the room and no more than he did that and I dropped dead. And the next thing I knew, I was waking up and I'm like, this is not where I was, because the lights, the covers for the fluorescent lights in the room that I was in weren't painted or anything. The room I was in now had clouds painted all over the ceilings. And I'm like, why in the hell am I looking at a bunch of clouds on what's going on? So, of course, I'm asking the doctor what's going on. I want to go home. I need to breastfeed my baby, you know. And they're like, you're not going home. You're being med flighted to Madison. I'm like, no, I'm not. I feel better now. I'm going home. I have a baby at home I need to take care of. And they're like, no, you're going on the med flight. And I was getting really mad at them, like, about ready to sign myself out of the hospital, really mad at them because they wouldn't tell me what was going on, except for they were telling me what was going on. I just couldn't hold the information in my head. Yeah. Well, they put me in the med flight. It took like an hour and a half to get me from one hospital to the other. I had emergency surgery that night. And then I got out of the hospital a month later. I was out of the hospital for one day, went in for had a routine female exam before the heart attack. And I went in for the results of that the day after I come out of the hospital. While I was in there, they told me, sweetheart, you have cancer and you're not going home today. You need to go back to the hospital. I was dying of congestive heart failure. So they put me back in the hospital. Then my gallbladder went, and then I had another heart attack. And then they put the pacemaker defibrillator in. And then I almost had another heart attack because I had a blood clot lodged directly in my heart. So it's been fun. So if I ever forget things or forget to do something, or I tell you about something and I forget, I try not to. I apologize, but yeah, my brain don't work right no more.
I completely understand. I wouldn't hold it against you anyway if you didn't remember anything. I mean, I do have to write notes myself. Otherwise, I will forget too. So, I mean, it's nothing like that. But good Lord, lady.
Yeah.
You have had one hell of a life.
Yeah. All because
I'm glad you're still here with us, though.
And the heck of it is my mom has it too. Every test that you can give us that they know about for testing for blood clots will tell you that I do not have a blood clotting disorder. Neither does my mom. But both of us randomly form clots.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a ride. And they told me after the first one, they said, that I should prepare myself, that I probably wasn't going to see my oldest son graduate high school. My daughter, in about 2 years, will be graduating high school. The one that was 9 weeks old when I had my heart attack. So they were wrong. They gave me 5 years. It's been almost 16.
Aww.
So.
Wow. I got tears in my eyes, man.
We're just special like that, aren't we, MichelleJ?
Somebody also said they had a heart attack. I think it was Tammy. Where did she say that? I had a heart attack at 27. I know. Love and prayers, she said.
Yeah.
Yep, y'all are fighters.
It's crazy what the human body can survive. It really is. It's amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah, my grandfather, he had congestive heart failure. He had COPD. He also had the pacemaker defibrillator. He was diabetic type 1. He had rheumatoid arthritis. He was overweight. He had high blood pressure. What else? There was a few other things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, my family deals a lot with the obesity issues. Both sides of my family are very, very large people. We've got a lot of diabetes and whatnot in our family, but my mom started the blood clot thing, and I guess I had to, she had to give me one thing in life.
Wow. Flower Tammy had a triple bypass.
I'm very thankful they haven't had to open me up. I can't imagine that kind of pain of when they open your chest up like that. Breaking a rib was bad enough.
I don't remember how old I was. I think I was in my teens. My mom's friend, high school friend, was like 30 or 32, I don't remember, and had to have a triple bypass.
Yeah, when they brought me back, they busted 3 of my ribs and my collarbone doing CPR. But if they do CPR correctly, you're going to have broken bones. That's just all there is to it.
I've heard too.
So I'm thankful to had those broken bones, because I'm still here. But I can't imagine just having 3 bones broke is one thing, but to have them,
makes me hurt thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to have back surgery twice. So, I mean, they opened me up and I saw a video of how they did that one time. And I'm like, nope, I don't want to watch it because my back's already hurting. And I turned it off. And I'm like, I normally can watch most anything and not get squeamish. I can watch the Saw movies and not get bothered by blood and gore and all that, but just watching, knowing what they did to my back and thinking about it being opened, and I'm just like, nope, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, our the body doesn't care how old you are. When something's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I've had quite a few. Oh, you're too young for all that to happen to. Babies are born with bad hearts.
Yeah. Yes. Hi, Karen JSP. She says, hi, everyone, lurking while out, and broken bones better than no pulse. Glad you all are here.
And then the only ones that bother me as far as gore is anything to do with the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Like, I can't handle it.
Yeah. For me, another thing I remember watching the movie Anaconda, you know, came out in the mid-90s, and it had Angelina Jolie's father. I can't remember his name, but and then that part where the guy had to have a trach put in because he couldn't breathe because the wasp went down his throat. And I'm just like sitting here doing like that because my neck literally hurt from watching that. And I'm like, but John Voight, yes, thank you. I can never remember certain actors' names. I can see their faces, you know, and I'll get to the point like I'll learn another actor's name that I couldn't remember, and then another one that I'll think of later. I can't remember their name when I said it 2 days before.
There's only so much room in that filing cabinet.
Exactly.
New information goes in, some old information has to get out.
Yep.
My uncle actually had one of those when I was growing up. He had one of the trach tubes in, and for a while, I don't remember why, but then when he would want to talk, he'd just have to put his hand over the hole to talk. And he had the buzzer for a little while, but it's all out now. He's back to normal.
My aunt, when she was staying here, and then she ended up going to the hospital for 4 months after the last seizure that she had after getting her carotid artery surgery done. She ended up having seizures, never had seizures in her life. And there was a really bad one, and they had to induce coma. And they ended up putting a trach in, and she had it for like 4 months. And then eventually, I think maybe around the 5th month of having the trach, they finally ended up taking it out. But I remember it was very hard for her to talk for a while there.
Yeah. Our bodies are just, there's something amazing about them.
Somebody was telling me that they were getting treated for macular degeneration. I don't remember who that was. But Mimi, Tammy, was that you? Somebody in the chat told me, but the shots come later. I worked for a guy for 5 years cleaning his house, and he was at the point where he was getting shots in his eye for macular degeneration.
They'd have to strap me to a body. They'd have to strap me down because
I can't even put in contacts.
Yeah, eye drops are not happening for me. So
oh wow, Melanie J. Well, that's very crazy, very, but I'm glad it's being managed.
Love and light to absolutely everybody that needs some.
Yes. No contacts, Melanie J. I tried contacts one time and I could not stand them. And it took forever to try to get it in my eye. I kept holding my eye open and tried, and I'm like, so I finally just looked up and then put it like, it was very hard to do. And my brother, and they were not prescription, they were the ones that had like the cat eyes on them to fund contacts. And but my brother actually wore real contacts for a long time that were prescription.
They make my eyes burn too much. I tried one time with the colored kind, you know, because as much as I think it's cool that I have two different colored eyes, kind of, one's one color, one's half one color and half another color, but sometimes I want, you know, I'd like them to be both the same. So I tried the contacts, and yeah, I couldn't handle that in my eye. Couple minutes, I'm like, get this out of here, because felt like I had trash in there.
Mm-hmm. And I kept doing like this, trying to, blink, and it was constant blinking, and my eyes would water, and I think I left them in like 10 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do this.
Not for me.
Oh no, she says I tried and I couldn't get it back out. I that's another thing that freaked me out. It rolling into the back of my eye or something. I mean, I don't know if that's possible, but yeah.
Actually, for mine, it's not heterochromia. It's I actually have a color bleed in my eye. It's a non-cancerous tumor that it grows. When I was first born, it was about the size of a pinhead, and now it covers about half of my eye.
Oh, wow.
So
One of our chickens has two colored eyes. Normal, like the normal breed that we have, their eyes are like an orangish, but on I think it's the right side, and it's only one of the two chickens we have. One is green and the other is orange, like it's supposed to be. But I thought that was kind of cool that our chicken had two colored eyes.
right.
Oh, that would freak me out, maybe Tammy, about getting the shots in your back.
The king has that degenerative disc. That's why he's working so hard to finish his classes so he can get into maintenance and not be on the machines as much anymore.
Yeah, I was afraid I had some kind of degenerative disc disease because, I mean, I've had problems with my lower back all my life, and I've had scoliosis. I've had 2 back surgeries on it. I've had 4 discs removed. I had found out, I think, a few years after I had a car wreck, I found out that I had spina bifida. Didn't both surgeries, nobody told me it was there or told my parents it was there, then find out I have that. That's also a degenerative disorder too. And so with scoliosis, a fused spine, spina bifida, now I found out in 2018, I have osteoarthritis in my lower back. And I'm just like, geez, no wonder I hurt down there.
Right?
But I have started taking, and I still don't remember how to pronounce it, glucosamine chondroitin. Yeah. And that actually has helped my pain quite a bit.
That's good.
I'm not hurting as bad. I said this a couple of weeks ago, I think, about that. And I swear that it has gotten better. I don't ache on a daily basis. Chondroitin. Thank you, Jen. I think I've been taking it almost 3 months. So, hi, Zach. Welcome in. I saw your name a few minutes ago. Let me see what he said. Hey, Crystal and Bridget, can't stay. I'm at work. Yay, work, laugh out loud. But I'll be that much closer to get my driver's license. Oh, congratulations. That's your goal at the end of 2025. Well, good luck, Zach. Oh, Deborah takes it and it helps her knees. Good. Yeah, Melanie J. I was born with the scoliosis, so I mean, my grandmother knew right off the bat that I had some kind of problem, but the doctors would not do anything until I was like almost 9. So I was in a brace, I think, for a year, and then they changed it to another one. Then I had the surgery, and then the Harrington rods that they had in were deteriorating, had to have them out at 15. I had my first surgery at 11, had to have the second one at 15 because they were deteriorating. But Yeah. So I've always, you know, back pain has always been there. You know, I'm used to it. It's just part of normal. Yes. Yes, I am glad I did. Nope. At least the pain that is arthritis pain has not hurt. No, I still have the other problems. I have the sacral joint on my left side gives me problems when I bend or stoop or, you know, for excessive amount of time. That will still bother me, but the arthritis pain that I didn't know was arthritis pain is eased. So
Right. Well, Sally, you enjoy that grandbaby and get an extra snuggle in there for me too.
aw. Yes, enjoy your time with your grandson. I think we'll probably wrap up here in a second. We got to do the entry giveaway. I didn't even realize I was only going to do an hour today because I was already starting so late. And we are almost an hour and 40 minutes. I know it's going to be okay. Bad, but if my parents pass away, I'm going to be walking everywhere. And it's about 20-minute drive, about 35-minute walk, and walk in winter wouldn't be pleasant. No, it wouldn't. Being in Canada, I bet it'd be super, super cold. You'd be froze by the time you got there, Zach.
It's important to take those steps to be able to take care of yourself fully. So.
Oh, wow. A friend's daughter wasn't treated until she was 14 for scoliosis. And see, there was reasons why they didn't do my back surgery for a while. One, because I was still growing, so I had to hit a certain age to stop growing. And then another reason that I'm not going to go into, but once that happened, they set up the surgery. So time does fly.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying time does fly.
My first husband, when he was first born, he no more than came out of the womb, and they rushed him into another room and put a cast on him from his armpits down.
Wow.
For like the first year of his life. They kept just changing it, and because his sister, they didn't realize until she started walking. I don't know how they didn't, but they did not realize until she started walking that one hip was way higher than the other one, where she's got, like, with corrective surgery that she's had, her one hip is still where she needs like a good 3.5, 4-inch lift on her one shoe.
Yeah.
And she's constantly having to have surgery. She's got to wear special back braces because, you know, like, it's really bad. But if they wouldn't have done what they did to him, like putting him in the cast and that, he would have ended up being the same exact way. But because of what they did, putting him in those casts, it actually straightened him back out.
Well, that's good.
So
yeah, by the time I ended up having my first surgery, I have a double curvature. Mine goes like this, but when that's looking from the back, like looking like this, and it's an S curve. And then when you look from the side, it normally curves like an S anyway. So mine was kind of more like a spiral that it was doing.
ooh.
And I had at 11, when I had my first surgery, the top curvature was almost a 90-degree angle. It was like 88, 89. And then the bottom curvature was like high 60s. So, and then they got it down to like 20s on both curves. And they said, oh, it won't get any more than this. By my 6-month checkup, or maybe it was a year checkup, it had already gotten up to 40s. degree curvatures. So what they did not really help. So yeah, crazy. But I was in one of those kind of body braces. It goes up under the arms, over the chest, around the back, down to the hips. I was allowed out of it for 1 hour a day and had to wear it the remainder of the time. Now I had two different ones. One was full and it had little pinholes to get air. It was completely solid. The other one had metal pieces that wrapped around the plastic that would go around. That one, I think, was the first one. The second one I had was the full kind of hard plastic. But by that time, everything had progressed.
Right.
And it shot up. Once they put me in the second one, it shot up. And then I think we had to talk to like 2 or 3 doctors before somebody said, yes, she should have been in surgery like yesterday, something like that. But yeah. All right. Yes, I do have a fusion in the upper back. I don't know like the key, like whether it's like L1, L2, T3. I don't know where exactly, but I know it's the upper back they fused.
Still the best 2 things I've ever gotten for this craft room.
I was wondering what that beeping was.
I have an electric tea kettle and then a warming plate for my teacup.
Aww.
Best gifts ever for this craft room.
I have a Keurig coffee brewer in my room. One, there's no room in the kitchen to put it in there, but so I wake up, turn my coffee pot on, go to the kitchen, get my cup and my sugar, and then go to the room, brew me a cup of coffee.
Yep.
And I actually got that at a garage sale for $20 with a stand. The K-cup stand that holds like 20-something K-cups.
Nice.
I think that was probably... I want to say I think it was pre-2020 when I got it at a garage sale, and it still works.
Right.
Best $20 I ever spent. All right, we are going to do the entry giveaway. I don't know. I don't know why, but moo. Let's do that keyword. M-O-O. I was going to do some numbers, but moo. I should have done mew, but I was thinking, like some of these sounds, but we've probably said goat or chicken or, and then I thought maybe Bridget's name, but people have said Bridget's name in the chat. So, I mean, I'm trying to, and then moo just popped up in my head. So why not?
Cows are one of my favorite animals.
We have this bowl that's over there. And one of the days when I was picking blackberries, it walked straight up to me, and I'm just like, I didn't know that bull was friendly. And I put my hand out, and it sniffed me, and it just kind of turned and walked off, and then it kind of turned back and looked at me. I'm like, okay. Oh, okay. Hi, Dawn Laval. I think I said hello to you earlier. If I didn't, forgive me. Summer says, I usually break my peels into halves or take 3/4 of it at a time, but I use all 4 of my 5 milligram ones most days. I know you made a comment earlier. I don't think I got to read it.
No, she said she was allergic to NSAIDs. I can't have those either.
Oh, and see, like, Tylenol don't work well on me, so I take ibuprofen, but then I found out that the medicine my dermatologist prescribed me is also an NSAID, and I can't take it with Advil. So if I do ever have to take it, I have to wait 2 days to take it. If I take Advil or ibuprofen, so I can't take them together. I'm just like, well, what if I took an ibuprofen? Well, you have to wait 1 or 2 days for it to get out of your system before you can take one of those. And I'm like, well, then why did you why prescribe it to me? But luckily I don't really need it. It's just a in case kind of medicine. We have 19. Hi, Karen ABQ.
I can't have any of the over-the-counter headache stuff because it all aggravates the congested heart failure.
Mm-hmm. See, and my grandfather, he was very careful about what he took for his arthritis, but what he was allowed to have was naproxen, which is a leaf. It's still an NSAID, but it's a different kind of form than ibuprofen. And he took that when he needed some kind of relief from his arthritis. He was waiting for me to come follow him, I guess. Sandy says, you coming along? That's what the look was. He was probably shocked you weren't scared of him.
I've seen quite a few ones that was not nice, and then I've seen other ones that it really depended on the day, the weather, and other ones that, well, you wouldn't go anywhere near that thing unless you had something very, very big to hide behind.
Yeah.
Because they're nasty buggers. Especially to a female because they can smell our hormones.
Mm-hmm. I have taken a leave in the past, Deborah. I have also used, they don't make it anymore, and I can't believe I still have some of this, but I don't use it as often. They discontinued it in 2016, and it's Been Gay Icy Cool, and it looks like it comes in a tube of deodorant. And you roll it on and you can put it in the freezer and everything. I'm almost out of that. And I have used that stuff sparingly and it works. And then I have some of the Tylenol rub-on cooling gel. I also have Icy Hot Pro that don't get too hot. I don't like the ones that burn the skin. You know, I like the ones that have more of like the cooling, the menthol in it. And it gets warm, but not like burn your skin that has the capsaicin or something. That's uncomfortable. Mama uses the lidocaine patches and stuff like that. And the Asper cream. Yeah. Yeah.
I usually take a nice hot bath or put a heating pad on it.
Yeah.
Which neither one of them is supposed to do, you know. But
yeah. Yeah, Aspercream has no smells, no feel, but works. But I like the menthol. I like the smell of the menthol, and I always have. Even when I had gotten sick and Mama would put Vicks Vapo rub on my chest, I loved smelling that. So I don't mind the menthol stuff, but I know some people can't handle it. Okay, we got 21. Yeah, the capsaicin, I can't. It burns too bad. It was a brand new bottle of something. I can't remember what it was now. This was like a couple of years ago, and it burned my skin. I literally had to try to wash it off, and it wouldn't come off, and it kept burning and burning. And so I threw that stuff in the trash. Literally just threw it away. I had just opened it, and I said, nope, ain't using it anymore. Melanie J says, Patricia, hello. Yeah, capsaicin does burn.
see, I had that happen to me with that the salon paws. Oh my goodness, my skin lit on fire. But I have like highly sensitive skin. Like
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Anything dyed, anything scented.
Yeah, my grandmother's skin is sensitive. Not as much, I don't think, but um, more or less like her scents, like perfume or anything like that will trigger migraines. It's not that she has like the skin reaction from the perfume or anything like that, but it gives her a migraine.
Yeah.
For a few days. Like if I spray one spritz of very, very strong perfume, she'll have a migraine for several days. So
Yeah, it's ridiculous to be sensitive to smells like that, but like going down the cleaning aisle, I have to hold my breath
yeah,
because or like Bath and Body Works or like the candle stores in the mall, I actually have to go to the other side and walk because if I actually just walk past the door, I'll have such a migraine that I'll get physically ill from it.
yeah,
My head is so sensitive to that stuff.
yeah. All right. We still at 21, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. Kimberly Otterson. Congrats, Kimberly. All right, next. Good luck. Karen ABQ. Congrats. Yo, my phone is at 1%. So if I disappear, well, let's try to do this quick. Third one. Deborah Richardson. All right, next. Mimi Tammy. Oh.
Uh-oh. Oh no. um, what you want me to do, Crystal? Well, hopefully she will grab it, grab another device and pop back in and say goodbye, because I can't end the stream for her. Gotta love our devices dying on us. Last win was Roseann Alexander. Congratulations, Roseann. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you all for joining Crystal and I tonight. I very much enjoyed spending time with you all and having some time with Crystal. I am crocheting. Right now it's just a granny square. I guess I can show you the square. Just a pink square. But it's going to be part of a project that I am doing as a collab. They're doing the Decade Divas. It's hosted by the Spoony Stitcher and one other channel I don't remember right off the top of my head. Sorry. But this fall, all the videos will come out. Everybody will be showing what they're making. And that's what this is. I believe it's got to be an outfit or a top, or it's in the style of the 70s, what we're making. So what I'm making is in the style of the 70s. It's just not going to be in the 70s colors. Welcome back.
Yay! I'm on the phone that I was drawing from. So the last winner was Roseann Alexander. So I had to come back anyway to end the live because I wouldn't be able to end it. So I had to hurry up and finish drawing so I could jump on this phone. And it lags terribly. So, but thank you so much, Bridget, for being here. And I had a blast.
I did too. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And I hope everybody has a good weekend. I have a video of Canella coming out tomorrow, so look out for that. And I got to draw a winter video Sunday. So, and I realized this is too far. But I hope y'all have a good weekend, and thank y'all for joining us. Please hit the like button on the way out, and have a good night, everybody. Bye, y'all.